Hi, welcome to The Shed, and in this episode we're going to talk about non-diatonic chords and specifically secondary dominant chords. A secondary dominant chord is a chord that temporarily puts you in a new key, and the term for that is called tana cessation. So tana cessation is when you temporarily move to a different key. So this is how they work. Let's start in the key of C. So this is the key of C, and I am going to write in my seventh chord qualities. So the 1 chord is major 7, the 2 is minor 7, the 3 is minor 7, the 4 is major 7, the 5 is dominant 7, the 6 is minor 7, and the 7 is half diminished. So a secondary dominant chord is talking about dominant chords. And the dominant chord's function is always going to be a 5. So the dominant chord has that tritone in it, which really pulls you to the 1. And we're going to use that to our advantage with these secondary chords. All right, so the 5 chord only exists once in a key. So we have the dominant chord in the 5 position. Now, what if I saw like E7? If I saw E7 in a progression, like if this was my progression, C major, E7 to A minor to F. How does that work? What's the function there? WTF. So I have an E7. Is C major in the key of C? Yes, it's the 1 chord. E7, it's not in there. The quality for E in the key of C is minor 7, so I have no idea. Okay. A minor, that's the 6 chord. F major, that's the 4 chord. So let's figure this out. Let's figure out what's going on here. So this dominant 7, whenever you see a dominant 7 in a chord progression that is not in the key, your first clue is to look at the chord after it. If this is acting as a secondary dominant, it's temporarily putting you in this key. So take just the first letter of this key and then write out a major scale starting on that note. All right, so there's my major scale. The 5 chord in this key, in the key of A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is E. It would be E7. This chord is the 5th chord in A. So this is the 5 of 6. So you write that 5/ means of 6. It's the 5th chord in the key of 6. And the key of 6 in the key of C is A. All right, so let's do a different one. I want you to figure out what the 5 of 5 is. So the 5 chord in the key of C is G. How do you figure out what the 5 of 5 is? Take that G, the letter name of that chord, spell out the scale. So G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Which one is the 5th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. F sharp, oops. And that 5 chord would be D7. So the 5 of 5 in the key of D, in the key of C, is D7. How do you use that in a progression? Well, you use it with the same rules of a regular progression, but you just go before a chord with its secondary dominant. So this is a 1, 6, 4 progression. It works. It's used a lot. I am taking that 6 and I'm inserting this 5 of 6 before it. It's still a 1, 4. It's still a 1, 6, 4 progression, but now the 6 has a little more prep, and this is what it sounds like. So here's my 1 to a 6 to a 4. Now I'm going to add in that E7, and it's going to prep this A minor. And listen to it. It makes the A minor sound like home base. We're temporarily moving to that key. Here's my C. Here's my E7. Here's my A. And here's my F. Do it again. Here's my C, E7, A minor, F major. Secondary dominant.